B4U. So there's Salman Khan's Dabangg, there's good news, there's Mardani all coming up. 2 films, Panipat and Pati Patni Aur Wo. I was able to see one because the problem with this film was that they weren't showing any previews till really late at night. So the one that I've seen, I will tell you, which is going to break quite a few records for Kartik Aaryan himself. Chintu Tyagi / Shabinav Tyagi. A lot of people had a lot of expectations from Kartik Aaryan. The chemistry between the two of them, that is Bhumi Pendikar Emin, the Patni and him was very good, but even the Wo and him was very good. Ananya Pandey, after, well, let's just say Student of the Year was not a bad idea for them because they got a lot of fame. But Bhumi Pendikar is on a bit of a run with Bala and Sandkiyak now coming into this. Now the story, of course, nothing to do with the 1979 classic which had Sanjeev Kumar in it. But yes, a lot to do with a lot of people, how they want to live their lives. A very simple PWD worker, Mr. Tyagi, has a wife, very sweet, simple. One day, has an encounter and he meets the love of his life, or at least he hopes. Doesn't say one small little bit, and then the lies continue. But the beauty of this film is that every character that is in the film, including Apar Shakti Khurana, has been given some great lines. The idea of a comedy is that the lines should be gay. And that's exactly what this film is. So whether you have a Chintu Tyagi thinking about Neha, as he calls it, there are really great sequences there. And the way Bhumi Pendikar is just walking, I've never seen her in a hot avatar. Of course, I've seen her off camera, but on the screen, whether you've seen her in Toilet Break, Prem Katha, in Sand Ki Aankh, in Bala, in her very first film that is Dam Laga Ke Haisa, have you ever seen Bhumi Pendikar wearing even a proper fitted salwar kameez? Never. In this film, she does. And that's the fantastic part between the two of them. She's a really good actress and a very Muffat actress also in the second half. The whole film, of course, centers around this one man, Kartik Aaryan. If he wasn't going to be able to pull this off, this film would have fallen flat on its face. Even the fact that it had Dheeme Dheeme, which was a really big chart buster, even the tracks in the film, everything was working well for the film. The buzz of the film was great, but I have never seen in a press screening for such a new actor clapping in the middle of the film. It's like I was watching Vicky Donor. So obviously Ayushmann Khurrana started to get this kind of fame. But for Kartik Aaryan to have such a great run, it's fantastic. And as I mentioned to some friends of mine, it looks like Ayushmann has got a Trojan horse. Ayushmann has Apar Shakti in the films of his biggest competitor these days. You never know. But this film is going to do wonderfully well. It connects so well with the masses. And as Kartik Aaryan himself says, he wanted to have a film that could connect with the masses. This completely does. I would say that he's probably eating into Varun Dhawan's market as well. I saw the girls, the guys, everybody loving him. 3.5 stars for Pati Patni Aur Wo. I do believe that this will be a 100 crore film for Kartik Aaryan. And I say this crazy, insane numbers for somebody who was completely written off till about, say, 1 year ago. In 1 year, his whole life has changed. And Ananya Pandey is looking so cute, they're going to fall in love with her. As far as box office collections are concerned, Mar Java, the surprise hit 51 crore at the box office. Wow. Nobody would have thought this. Cause for celebration for Siddharth Malhotra and Milap Zaveri. Ritesh Deshmukh once again. Houseful for getting 200 crores, this getting 50 crores. He's really got things working for him. And the surprising hit is Commando, making almost 20 crores at the box office. Nobody would have expected a Vidyut Jammwal film to even like scratch the surface. But consistently he's shown with his kind of cinema and just sort of showing some action, he's managing to get the 25 and 30 crores at the box office, which is a really, really big deal. Also remains to be seen how Panipat will deal with the fact that Pati Patni Aur Wo, which has a higher screen count than Panipat, how they can deal with this fact. Arjun Kapoor and of course Ashutosh Gowarikar had this great chemistry in between. With Sanjay Dutt, I believe that his, Kancha China avatar of Agnipath was far more menacing. Here is Ahmed Shah Abdali is hardly really fighting, but Kriti Saran will definitely make you skip a beat. So they will be fighting for box office collections, definitely. Madani Part Two, Yashraj hasn't really, as is their want, don't really promote the film as much, but they have a huge number of screens that always come out. 1 week before Salman Khan's film comes out. Whenever Rani Mukherjee decides to become Shivani Roy, so much can go right and wrong. In case you've forgotten who is Shivani Roy, well, 2014 should re-jog your memory. Yep, Madani Part 2 comes along. When Madani first came out, of this tough lady cop taking on the establishment And there's a scene in Madani 1 where she's got her belt and she beats this guy up, and it's awesome. And nobody, I think, but Rani Mukherjee could play this role. This whole story is in Kota, Rajasthan, where a female cop, just the fact that she's a female cop is a problem for everybody around. There, because a woman is supposed to be jutti ke niche. And the problem is, if they stand up against the man, there's always a problem. So here, if you have a female cop, and that also a very female Dabangg cop, there's always going to be trouble. So there's something that happens where a woman says no to a guy, which is normal. And if you look at the theme of films that is there, even Akira, that was with Sonakshi Sinha, all of them had the same, core truth. A man cannot take no for an answer from a woman. And if he does get no for an answer, they resort to violence, rape, acid attacks, all these kind of things. So this is a similar kind of film where sadly one girl unfortunately gets raped, and thereafter it is the revenge of a Rani Mukherjee over a diabolical villain. And the portrayal of Sunny as Vishal Jetwa played it was very, very diabolical. And if you look at the fact that recently, have there been any out and out Marjama had, where Ritesh Deshmukh was not a caricature. Yes, he was a vertically challenged guy, but he wasn't a caricature. So it's not like, oh, main tumhe sikhaunga kya hoga. No, very clear, very ruthless, and that's what Vishal Jetwa was. I think a fantastic one-on-one confrontations with Rani Mukherjee. This is the kind of cinema that I want to see her in. But the problem is, when she does a Mardani and a Mardani 2 5 years apart, she's probably going to be part of Bunty or Bubbly also. There's not enough of Rani Mukherjee that we're being able to see. And that's the reason why, the theme concept films are what she's choosing. But when you own a production house like Yash Raj, why are you not coming more often in films? Mardani is fantastic, it's very hard, it's very gripping, and as usual, the acting is fabulous. I'm going to give 3.5 stars to Mardani. Really worth it. And from what I've heard, other people, not just the critics, are also liking it, which is even more important. As far as box office collections are concerned, there's Karthik. Because he isn't on ground anymore. Karthik Aryan is flying in the air with almost a 35-40 crore opening weekend, a 50+ crore opening week, and a 75 crore first week leading into second weekend. He's untouchable, he's almost invincible right now. He might even hit 100 crores. And that will make it back-to-back almost, with Sony Ki Titi Ko Sweetie hitting 130, 94 with Lukka Chuppi, and 100+ with this film as well. Karthik Aryan is here to stay as the new mass hero. The youngsters love him, the oldies love him. They think he's very cool, he's fun. He's made his TikTok debut also. I think he's here to stay and here to rule. Well, what can you say? When Salman Khan comes, everyone else just stands by. And I can't wait to see you back again on Bollywood Box Office. Hello and welcome to B4U. You're with me, Salil, on Bollywood Box Office and the big film of the year. Can Salman Khan pull it off with a Dabangg 3? 3 times more powerful, we'll find out. Well, Dabangg 1 happened almost 10 years ago. Dabangg 2 happened a few years after that, and Dabangg 3 coming after almost a gap of 5 years. The question is, was it good enough? Well, they roped in a number of people in it. Kicha Sudeep, the big Kannada superstar, becomes the villain. Prabhu Deva becomes the director. Well, you get Sai Manjrekar, the new face being launched, and you get Sonakshi Sinha. But the question is, can this be enough? Well, Dabangg is an out-and-out revenge drama. It's script and story by Salman Khan. Story very simple. It's about a guy who, at one point of time, was a bodybuilder, and his name was Dhakad. His name was not Chulbul at that point of time. That name Dhakad was for Salman Khan. And how he fell in love with this girl who was supposed to fall in love with his brother, Makhi. That was Arbaz. That girl was Khushi, Sai Manjrekar. And of course they fall in love, and then the villain comes and she dies. That was the interval point. So at this point in time, all the big stories about how she was a younger version of Sonakshi, no, she was Sonakshi's sister. So the revenge drama starts in the second half, and then suddenly you see this massive climactic sequence where he's killing and beating up a lot of people. So the question was, should this have been a great masala entertainer? Well, there's a large part of me that loves Salman Khan, and there's a large part of me that likes the 90s masala films. Recently, Marjama was in that kind of zone, in the old zone. But for this to be an out-and-out 90s action drama, Salman Khan should have been in that kind of zone. But he's playing a very cute avatar in this. So it's Salman in the cute avatar, the Chulbul avatar, and there's Kicha Sudeep in the 90s avatar.
So there's a slight disconnect, especially in the first half, because it's very slow. The second half picks up well and it carries forward from there with a lot of action sequences. But the build-up is a little long, so as a result of that, you wouldn't end up giving this like a 4.5, 5 stars and expecting like a 300 crores with this. The slowness of the first half results in you like just getting a little bit angsty. So I'm actually going to say 3.5 stars for Salman Khan. I did like a Munna Badnaam. I did like a Yun Karke. But the problem with me was I could not like this a little bit more than the quintessential Bhai fans. So unfortunately, this won't make more than, yes, it might break the 200 crores. 211 is a target to break of Bharat, but it will not be the 300 crore blockbuster that the whole world wanted. So 3.5 stars. Salman is very cute, he's sweet, and he works well. But around him, it's almost like it's in slow motion in the first half. Jumanji and Madani 2 making a lot of money at the box office. Jumanji, surprisingly, 28 crore weekend it had last week with Nicholas, Nick Jonas, and of course, the one and only Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. But Madani 2 actually a fantastic film, as I told you. Very strong performances by Rani Mukherjee, which is not too bad considering the fact that there was zero publicity. But obviously with the biggies coming in, like with Salman Khan's film and with good news, you won't end up going much further, but both of these did wonderful business.
There's one name that should call himself Mr. Box Office. Andhadhun, Badhai Ho, Article 15, Dream Girl, and now Bala. The name is Ayushmann Khurrana, doesn't need any introduction anymore. The common man superhero, as he likes to call himself, is the new Shah Rukh Khan. And after you see Bala, is Shah Rukh Khan. Does brilliant mimicry. I never knew this, and I tweeted Ayushmann as well. I said, brother, now though you're doing mimicry also. Now there's nothing left. The story of perhaps 80% of Indian males at the age of 40 plus, whether they like to admit it or not, most of them have premature balding. The world over, actually, it's one of the most embarrassing and most deflating conditions that anybody goes through. More than being overweight, balding is a very big issue across the world. Well, this is exactly one such story of a man, Bala, who was the high school superstar, was good at everything, had this amazing girlfriend, everything, and loved his hair. And then one day, his hair started to go. So once his hair starts to go, he can't come to terms with the fact that his hair is gone. He has his childhood friend / not friend, Bhumi Pendekar, who's very dark but very confident of herself. And he's in love with this TikTok star. And he finally meets her, and he doesn't tell her that he's bald. And so the story continues. You know, the first half is extremely entertaining, as was Dream Girl. The second half, like Akshay Kumar, Ayushmann Khurrana has started to make films that have a social cause and a social message as well. So there is a message in the end, which I'm not going to tell you obviously because it reveals the story. But it's a very interesting film because I think Ayushmann Khurrana has just nailed it with regard to how to play a small town actor. He just knows the right mannerisms. Also, Amar Kaushik, the director of Stree, has sort of written this beautifully. This film was in a lot of controversy. There was a lot of talk about Ujra Chaman also being very good. I've seen Ujra Chaman and it was a very big snooze fest for me. But I think Bala just about hits the right numbers. And Yami Gautam has hit it out of the park, bro. Super performance. She's as good, if not matching each step with Bala. And with Bala, there are also a number of other smaller actors who have done a very good job. His brother, you know, all these actors of Stree, he's taken in this, including Saurabh Shukla. There's Javed Jafri also, who plays a Amitabh Bachchan hangover person. And he's also rather cool. But Bhumi Pendekar, of course, comes into own. But I think the really surprising and fantastic performance that really blew my mind was Yami Gautam, along with, of course, Ayushmann Khurrana. I'm going to give 3.5 stars. Good luck, buddy. Once again, you're on the right track. So Milab Zaveri has a proven track record. Not so much in like this massy cinema. Only one Satyamev Jayate there is working. But otherwise, he's got a proven track record as a writer. And so my whole thought process was, could this work? Yes, there are the 60 crore valid dialogues. When a director decides to make sure that he's making larger than life Indian cinema, back to the 90s where the angry young man was always there. Actually, more the 80s. 90s was when Mr. Bachchan was starting to see a bit of a downer. But the question is, can this film work? It's a story about a Don. A Don has 2 children. One son is Siddharth Malhotra. The other son, Ritesh Deshmukh. But the son that is going to become the heir apparent is Siddharth Malhotra. And so as a result of that, there is a big axe to grind that Ritesh Deshmukh has with Siddharth Malhotra. Certain things happened over a period of time in which finally Of course, the Shakuni brain of Ritesh Deshmukh, who's the dwarf in this, works towards making sure that Siddharth Malhotra finally murders the woman he loves, that is Zoya. And then he starts to take revenge. And the second half is all about the big revenge, and that's how you go back into the 90s. So what is it? It's a simple Purane Zamane style film where the hero feels wronged, he's asked to do wrong, and then he comes back to take revenge. But does it work in this current scenario? I think the biggest problem is that Siddharth Malhotra doesn't have the... you want Ajay Devgan playing this role. If Ajay Devgan was in this role, that would have been fantastic. But Siddharth Malhotra is a little flaky for this kind of number. And as a result of that, it doesn't really make you feel like you can do something with this. Yes, the storyline is not too bad. It's interwoven well. The dialogues itself are strong. But the iconic dialogues of a Shahenshah, रिश्ते में तो हम तुम्हारे बाप लगते हैं. Imagine if somebody said, रिश्ते तो भाई हम तुम्हारे बाप लगते हैं, नाम मेरा शहंशाह है. Would this work? No, it doesn't, right? So no matter what the body language, no matter what the dialogue delivery, it doesn't seem to sort of win you over. So it doesn't really matter how Siddharth Malhotra is going to perform this. I do not see this winning the audiences over, sadly. It has got to be the right kind of cinema that Siddharth chooses, and if he was going to be a bar dekho kind of boy, even though that film didn't work with Katrina Kaif, that is the kind of cinema that he can do. He cannot do this Jabariya Jodi and this Marjava. It doesn't work. You had a Dilbar, you had a O Saki Saki, that were Masi songs for a Batla house or for a Satyamev Jayati. This didn't have that Masi appeal. I'm sorry, I'm going to give 2 stars. All right, sad, after 4 years, he just had a 60 lakh weekend. Satellite Shankar, Bypass Road, that is Neil Nathan Mukesh's film, also had a bigger collection than Satellite Shankar. But of course, Bala breaking every box office record, and Ayushmann just seems to have like the formula to sort of work every single time. It touched the right chord everywhere, wasn't preachy. The film just worked completely for the audiences. And Yami Gautam, I think, will have a new lease of life with this movie. So far, Ayushmann's highest earning film. I'll see you next week. Till then, take care. And this is Salil signing out.